Raider Nation, welcome back. Today is Friday, November 6th in the year of 2020, and we're going back to Cali Sunday at SoFi Stadium. This is the official return to LA. If you were to ask me, the official return to LA will be in 2021 if they do have fans in attendance, because we got to see Raider Nation take over LA. And I can't really count Carson, guys. I just can't, man. That was kind of like a temporary situation. So this game does have an LA feel to it to a certain degree, because you're going to see the new stadium. It's a big, beautiful stadium. The game's going to be on TV here in Southern California. We're all excited. And not only that, this is a key matchup. You have the first of three AFC West matchups to come. The Raiders come into this one 4-3. The Chargers 2-5. Hey, man, you just want this team, this Charger team, to melt down in the fourth quarter. So we're going to get into today's game preview. I'm Raider Dave. This is GrimeCast Media. We're going to drop an intro, and I will be right back after the break. All right, 15 South. We're in full gear. We're going back to Cali, man. The Raiders, they are heading to SoFi Stadium, man. And it's going to be a big game, because this game means a lot for both teams. I know the Chargers, they got their record there at 2-5, but Anthony Lynn is on the hot seat as Chargers head coach. So a lot could go down in Sunday's game. The Raiders, they want to get win number 5, man, and leave LA 5-3, feeling good after 8 games. Coming out 5-3 would be huge. 2-0 in the AFC West. Let's set the table, man, for a winning recipe, man. What do the Raiders need to do? They come into this game as 1.5-point underdogs. They're keep in mind, we talked about in the last podcast, they are 3-1 against the spread. So this is going to be a huge matchup, like I said, for both teams. The Chargers, they just can't finish in the fourth quarter. Everything lines up well. We'll get into the stats, all that fun stuff. First, though, let's talk some news and notes, man. Keep an eye on Josh Jacobs. We want to see if he practices or not today. Make sure that he's ready to go in this game, man, because they did elevate Theo Riddick to the active roster yesterday, so keep an eye on that situation. Trent Brown, also, you guys already know he tests positive for the Rona again, so he's on the reserve list. He's awaiting to clear protocol, and we're not going to know on that for a little bit, I believe. And then the Raiders, man, you guys already know they've been fined like $1.2 million for NFL Rona-related fines. It's crazy, and they dock them a 6th-round draft pick. Give me your thoughts on that. We just know this team's getting picked on. I mean, these are some pretty hefty fines. A lot of it, like half of these fines go for like maskless players, you know, from the Trent Brown situation to Jonathan Abram, the fundraisers, you know, all that stuff. It's almost like the team or the league is just keyed in on this team, and you know, they're harping them pretty hefty right here. You know, a draft pick and, you know, $1.2 million in fines so far. But once again, the Raiders, I believe their focus is player safety, of course, but also we got to win football games. We're not taking the field just for fun, man. We're taking the field to win football games. It's all about getting to 5-3, but do give me your thoughts on that situation. So Tanner Muse, he's done for the year, season-ending toe surgery. You know, so I did want to see what he had to offer, you know, especially on special teams. Guy does have 4.4 speed, so we'll have to wait till next year to see how that draft pick pans out. Marcus Mariota, man, he drops to 3rd on the QB depth chart, so something to keep an eye on there. And one last quick note. This regards Joey Bosa for the Chargers, man. This is per ESPN, he is not expected to clear concussion protocol from week 8, and he is not expected to play in this game or suit up in this game, so that could be huge for this Raiders offense. Now let's get into what the Raider offense needs to do. We just talked about Joey Bosa possibly, most likely sitting in this game. The Chargers defense, they're pretty good. They got the pass rush, they got the DBs, you know, and they're solid at linebacker. You remember they got Kenneth Murray there. We passed on him, so this is a game, you know, you don't want to let him take over this game, or, you know, take over an emotional game, kind of like what Devin White did. You know, that's another player we passed, and we got Cleveland Farrell instead. I know it's a different draft, but we passed on Kenneth Murray, and we took Damon Arnett last year. So let's see how that plays out. That's the player to key in on defense. But this defense, this Charger defense, is allowing 26.4 points per game. So, you know, they do have 15 sacks on the year as well through 7 games. So these are the 2 things to keep an eye on, man. Because now without Joey Bosa, you know, that could affect their sack total in this game, and how effective they are getting after the quarterback. This team will get after Derek Carr, that's for sure. They do have a pass rush, but the key is with this Charger defense, is you want to attack early, you want to wear them out early. It's going to come down to John Gruden's play calling, how much they let Derek Carr air it out. The reason why the Chargers are losing football games is fourth quarter meltdowns, and the Raiders just can't rely on that. This is too important of a game that you want to walk away with a W, an AFC West matchup. It just primes the Raider for a playoff caliber season, and not only that, we're playing for the West at this point. As far as the Raiders go on defense, you're facing a Charger team that is red hot. This team is number 2 overall in yards per game. That makes them the number 2 overall offense. They're number 6 in passing yards. They're 8 in rushing yards. So the scoring offense is averaging 25.6 points per game. So you have key matchups in this game. It really comes down to getting after the rookie quarterback, and it comes down to our quarterback outplaying him as well. Now, one thing we did talk about sacks earlier, as far as the Chargers, getting after the quarterback. The Chargers have also given up 15 sacks through 7 games. So this is an opportunity for Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell, Arden Key if he happens to play in this game. We want to get that big push up front and get to Justin Herbert. It's key. And not only that, he's a big quarterback. This guy's 6'6", I think 230. He throws a good football. I mean, he's showing good NFL poise in the pocket, and he has caught the attention all around the league. When it comes to the defensive line getting that push, you want the interior, the outside, play fast. That's kind of my thoughts going into this game. Play fast and disrupt the pocket. Use that quick handwork we see off the edge with Max Crosby. Use the arm length. Cleveland Farrell's got that arm length. Use your arm length, and same with Max Crosby. Get your arms up and get some stunts at the line. Get some tip passes. You want to do everything you can to disrupt this young quarterback, and all that. Maybe a little press man coverage. We're seeing a lot of zone from Gunther. He likes to play safe, but I think a little bit more press coverage. Maybe let your linebackers drop in zone, because we want to see more from Nick Kwiatkowski, because we saw him emerge with the forced fumble, the near interception last week. But first with that defensive line, set the edge, just develop that speed rush. I think a fast-paced defense up front, and then we're just going to need a lot of work from our linebackers in this game. So like key matchups, like maybe Kwiatkowski, facing, the running back Justin Jackson, who looks like he's going to be the primary ball carrier in this game. You've got the rookie Josh Kelly. So we're going to need more from guys like Corey Littleton, who's really going to need to step up in this game, because you have Hunter Henry coming across the middle. So we're going to need good coverage from our linebackers. Our linebackers are going to be key in this game. I'm just going to leave it at that, because you have to contain the 3 players I just mentioned: Justin Jackson, Josh Kelly, and Hunter Henry. Now check this out. I'm confident with Trayvon Mullen. If he's matched up on Keenan Allen, if they assign him to Keenan Allen, or just shading one side of the football field. But Trayvon Mullen, I'm confident in his coverage on his side of the football field. Now, my concern is Mike Williams in this game. Mike Williams, a big wide receiver. He's making some nice catches, and he's got a nice chemistry going with Justin Herbert right now. This is a game where I kind of wonder if Isaiah Johnson should be a part of this game plan, because Mike Williams and Isaiah Johnson I see as a suitable matchup. Isaiah Johnson's got those long arms. He's speedy. We haven't seen him too much out there. That just looks like an intriguing matchup for me. Give me your thoughts on that. And then once again, we already know with Jonathan Abram, we're seeing him in some blitz packages. So if you're going to dial up some blitz, I want to see more Jonathan Abram getting after the quarterback. That could also be a tone setter. So we discussed a handful of players there on defense, offense, but these are the 3 key players to watch for me in this game. Derek Carr. This is the game where you want to put this on Derek Carr, just like in Kansas City, how he showed up in Kansas City poised, ready to play, and led them to victory. Similar as last week in Cleveland, man. 2 big road wins that I just mentioned right there. This one's another big one on the road for Derek Carr, and they are playing great on the road, if you were to ask me. And then also Josh Jacobs, man. This is the guy that just creates balance in the offense. I'm hoping he suits up Sunday. I'm hoping he practices today. I'm hoping he gets into practice today, and all is looking green light go for Josh Jacobs. So I got my fingers crossed on that one, but Once again, Josh Jacobs, you guys already know, once he gets in the red zone, he's got a nose for the end zone. He sniffs it out. He gets points. He's a game closer. We need every bit of Josh Jacobs to win this football game. All the confidence in Devontae Booker, you know, guys like Jalen Richard, who has stepped up in key situations. They're going to need all 3 of their backs, 4 of their backs, now that they added Theo Riddick from the practice squad, and then you got Alec Ingold, so maybe some more looks with the fullback there. And my last player, you know, I'm a big fan of Trayvon Mullen. You guys already know every week he's in my players to watch. He's fun to watch, that's why. So Trayvon Mullen, keying on him. And last, let's set up our keys to victory, man. Let's set the tempo on offense. I think that's key. Green Bay San Francisco game, you saw it last night. Aaron Rodgers sets the tempo on offense early, goes to his go-to receiver. I want to see our offense. I think our offense can operate very similar to Green Bay. It's there. It's waiting to pop, man. I've always compared Derek Carr to Aaron Rodgers, man. I want to see the tempo on offense just explode early on, where you just take a 14-point lead and you can just start pounding the rock in between the tackles, because you see that right there is the second slate. Pound the rock in between the tackles. How effective is Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker in between the tackles? I showed you guys last week in last week's game how much they were effective, you know, when they run in between the tackles, because they find the crease in the offensive line, they find the hole that develops, they follow their blocks, and the guys just have good vision. So that's why I'm big on pounding the rock. You know, whatever which way you got to do it, if you're going to take the outside corner and try to go for the big play, or you're just going to keep eating up those yards in the middle of the football field and wearing out that defense, that's what we want to see. Now, last week we saw the Raiders. They created a turnover on defense. It was a difference maker in their win. There was only 1 turnover in the game. The Raiders, they are in the -4 in turnover differential. We want to improve that. We want to become a winning team. We'll go for the West. You name it. You have a rookie quarterback in play. He turned the football over twice last week. He still has a lot of things to work out in his game. He looks good. However, disrupt him, man. Get inside of his head. Don't let him take over the game. And you can do that by catching this kid off guard. So that's going to include dialing up the blitz. So you're going to dial up the blitz, get pressure on the rookie. Well, I just already said what I was going to say at number 4, but dial up the blitz, man. Get pressure on him. Whatever you got to do, stun at the line, and use your linebackers in more critical situations. I'm going to go back to the Tampa Bay game. What was it, 3rd and 13 or whatever in the 4th quarter? I think like 7 minutes left or something in that game, where the Raiders were in that game, and you saw the linebackers playing soft in the zone. We want to see our linebackers execute more in critical situations. And I also don't have it on the list here, but one more thing. Keep playing LaMarcus Joyner at free safety, because he looked a lot better last week. We saw how effective LaMarcus Joyner was when you put him at the free safety spot and let him survey the fields. So that will wrap up today's show. Give me your thoughts on Sunday's game, any game predictions, what you think's going to go down. I'm going to say the Raiders pull this one out by 7 points. I'm going to say they win this thing 27-20. They get a great performance from their defense, a solid performance, I'll say, from the defense, and the offense. They come in with the right game plan. They execute at the right time, and they get just enough points on the board to get a 7-point victory, which is a solid victory. They get to win number 5. They go 2-0 in the AFC West. They improve their AFC record to 3-2, and we are looking at the playoffs going into Week 10 at home versus Denver. I'll talk to you guys again. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys again Sunday. Hopefully we can pop off a live stream. I'll know more by the end of the day. But once again, hopefully we get a live stream. If we do, it'll be Saturday afternoon. I'll catch you guys again, Raider Nation. I'm Raider Dave. This is GrimeCast Media. I'm out. Peace.